The vast emptiness of space held countless secrets, but nothing could have prepared the Galactic Confederation for humanity's unexpected emergence. On an ordinary Tuesday, deep within the monitoring station orbiting the Centauri system, a routine scan picked up strange signals from a small blue planet tucked away in a quiet corner of the Milky Way. Admiral Hyun watched the initial transmission with mild curiosity. Earth appeared unremarkable, a planet filled with primitive beings who seemed constantly engaged in conflict. The initial report suggested humans were technologically infantile, emotionally unstable, and unlikely to survive their own internal struggles. Captain J. Park received the classified report through encrypted channels. His weathered hands traced the holographic display, studying the detailed analysis of human civilization. Cities sprawled across continents, advanced enough to create complex technologies, yet primitive enough to still wage wars among themselves. The alien observation team had been monitoring Earth for decades. They recorded human behavior, complex social structures, rapid technological advancements, and an unprecedented capacity for adaptation. What seemed chaotic from a distance was actually an intricate dance of innovation and survival. In a small research facility located in the mountains of South Korea, Dr. Elena Rodriguez and her team were working on a breakthrough quantum communication system. Unknown to her, this project would become the first point of genuine extraterrestrial contact. Her algorithms, designed to decode complex mathematical patterns, would inadvertently create a bridge between humanity and the galactic community. The first genuine transmission occurred unexpectedly. A series of mathematical sequences, perfectly structured yet seemingly random, emerged from Earth's communication networks. The Galactic Confederation's linguists and communication experts were baffled. These weren't random signals. They were an intentional message. Aboard the Confederation's primary observation vessel, senior analysts began intense debates. Some argued these signals were a potential threat, while others saw them as a fascinating anomaly. Commander Seok observed the heated discussion with a calm demeanor, understanding that first contact required patience and careful analysis. Humans, meanwhile, continued their daily existence. Unaware of the galactic eyes watching them, they pursued their dreams, fought their battles, created art, and pushed the boundaries of scientific understanding. A species that seemed fragmented was actually demonstrating remarkable potential for unity when faced with significant challenges. The quantum communication system developed by Dr. Rodriguez's team became the unexpected catalyst. Its complex algorithms could potentially decode and translate communication patterns from any potential extraterrestrial source. What started as a theoretical research project was about to change everything humanity understood about their place in the universe. Admiral Hyun reviewed the accumulated data multiple times. Something about these human signals was different. They weren't desperate attempts at communication, nor were they random noise. These were calculated, intelligent transmissions that suggested a species far more sophisticated than initial assessments had indicated. As the alien observation teams continued their silent watch, humanity remained blissfully unaware of the scrutiny. Workers in Tokyo, farmers in Brazil, scientists in Geneva, they all continued their lives, each unknowingly contributing to humanity's growing complexity and potential. The Galactic Confederation's preliminary report would eventually conclude that humans were an unpredictable species. They were simultaneously destructive and creative, capable of extreme violence and profound compassion. Their technological progress was exponential, their adaptability remarkable. What the Confederation didn't understand was humanity's most powerful attribute, their ability to unite when facing external challenges. Their internal conflicts, which seemed chaotic from a distance, actually forged a resilience that would soon become legendary across the galaxy. As the first transmission completed, its journey across light years, something fundamental had changed. Humanity's first inadvertent message to the stars was about to be received, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Little did the alien observers know that this was just the beginning of a story that would reshape galactic understanding forever. Humanity was preparing to make its mark, one unexpected transmission at a time. The stars watched, The galaxy listened, and humanity, wonderfully unaware, continued its remarkable journey. The first alien scout ship appeared without warning, cutting through Earth's atmosphere like a silent knife. Its metallic hull gleamed with technologies far beyond human understanding, casting a long shadow over the Pacific Ocean. Military radar stations lit up with frantic activity, their screens displaying an object that defied every known classification. Seok Choi sat in the underground military command center, his fingers dancing across advanced computer systems. Unlike traditional military strategists, Choi represented a new generation of defenders, part mathematician, part tactical genius, and entirely focused on protecting humanity's future. The alien vessel made no attempts at communication. Its movements suggested reconnaissance, a silent evaluation of human capabilities. But humans had been preparing for possibilities beyond conventional warfare for years. The quantum defense system, developed in secret research facilities across multiple continents, was about to be tested. In Tokyo, Seoul, Washington, and Moscow, military leaders watched the unfolding scenario with a mixture of fear and anticipation. Years of internal human conflicts had created something unexpected, a global defense network that could respond faster than any single nation. ARIA, the artificial intelligence system developed by Dr. Yu Jin, began processing data at speeds no biological entity could comprehend. Its algorithms analyzed the alien ship's movement patterns, energy signatures, and potential weapon systems within milliseconds. What seemed like chaos to human observers was a perfectly calculated defense mechanism. The alien ship suddenly released a low-frequency energy pulse, a standard reconnaissance technique used to map technological capabilities of potential target civilizations. But this pulse meant something entirely unexpected. Instead of providing information, it triggered a complex defensive response. Seok Choi's fingers moved with precision. "Activate quantum deflection protocol," he commanded, his voice calm and steady. The military command center transformed from a monitoring station to an active defense platform. The quantum deflection system was humanity's secret weapon. Unlike traditional defense mechanisms that sought to block or destroy incoming threats, this system could absorb, analyze, and potentially redirect alien technological signals. It was adaptive intelligence taken to its most advanced form. When the alien energy pulse hit Earth's defensive grid, something remarkable happened. Instead of causing damage, the pulse was captured, analyzed, and then sent back to its source with additional encoded information. It was a message written in the universal language of mathematics and quantum mechanics. The alien scout ship's systems experienced something they had never encountered. Their sophisticated technology was being not just defended against, but actively studied and challenged. What was supposed to be a simple reconnaissance mission had turned into an unexpected technological chess match. Military satellites across the globe tracked the alien vessel's confused movements. It wasn't retreating, but it was clearly reassessing its approach. Humanity had just demonstrated that it was not a passive target, but an active, intelligent civilization capable of responding to unknown threats. Dr. Yu Jin watched the data, streams from her research facility, a slight smile crossing her face. Years of theoretical research had transformed into practical defense within minutes. The quantum system was working perfectly, sending a clear message to any potential observers. Humans were not to be underestimated. The alien ship made one final attempt to gather information, releasing a series of complex scanning waves. ARIA intercepted each wave, creating mirror responses that effectively blinded the alien's technological sensors. It was like watching a sophisticated digital dance, with humanity leading every step. As quickly as it had appeared, the alien scout ship began its retreat. No weapons had been fired, no direct communication had been established. But a fundamental understanding had been reached. Humans were not just another planetary civilization to be casually observed or potentially conquered. Seok Choi leaned back, in his chair, understanding the historical significance of what had just occurred. This was more than a defensive action. This was humanity's first true interaction with extraterrestrial intelligence. The global military networks began compiling reports. News agencies would soon be buzzing with speculation. But for now, a quiet sense of accomplishment filled the command centers around the world. Humanity had passed its first test, and the galaxy was about to learn that this small blue planet was not to be taken lightly. The world changed after the first alien encounter. Research facilities across different continents began working with unprecedented collaboration. Dr. Yu Jin's laboratory in Seoul became the epicenter of humanity's technological transformation. ARIA, the artificial intelligence system, evolved faster than anyone predicted. What started as a defensive tool became a revolutionary technological platform capable of processing complex quantum algorithms in mere microseconds. Scientists realized they were no longer just developing a system. They were creating a new form of intelligence. Commander David Miller watched the technological developments with a strategic eye. Military research had always pushed technological boundaries, but this was different. Humanity was no longer reacting to threats. They were preparing to meet them head-on. Global communication networks began sharing breakthrough after breakthrough. A researcher in Brazil would develop a quantum encryption method, which would be immediately improved by a team in Germany. The competitive nature of human innovation transformed into a collaborative global effort. The alien reconnaissance data became a treasure trove of technological insights. Each captured signal, each intercepted transmission provided new understanding of advanced technological concepts. Humanity's scientific community worked like a massive, interconnected brain, absorbing, analyzing, and adapting. Dr. Yu Jin's quantum communication system underwent radical transformations. What was once a theoretical research project became a potential interstellar communication platform. The system could now not just receive and decode alien signals, but could potentially generate responses that would be mathematically and technologically coherent. Military technologies transformed dramatically. Traditional weapon systems became obsolete within months. Adaptive defense platforms could now predict and counter potential threats before they materialized. Drones became autonomous intelligent units, capable of making complex strategic decisions faster than human commanders. ARIA's capabilities expanded exponentially. The AI could now simulate thousands of potential conflict scenarios, developing strategies that human minds could barely comprehend. It wasn't just a defensive tool anymore. It had become a strategic planning system that could outthink and outmaneuver potential alien threats. Governments worldwide redirected massive financial resources into technological research. National boundaries became meaningless as scientific collaboration reached unprecedented levels. A breakthrough in one country was immediately shared and improved upon by researchers globally. The quantum computing breakthrough allowed humans to process information at speeds previously thought impossible. Complex mathematical problems that would have taken traditional computers decades could now be solved in seconds. This wasn't just technological advancement, it was a fundamental reimagining of human potential. Satellite networks were upgraded with adaptive technologies that could self-repair and evolve. Space exploration programs accelerated, with missions being planned not just for scientific exploration, but for potential defensive positioning. Humanity was preparing itself for a larger, more complex galactic landscape. Energy production technology saw massive leaps. Fusion research, which had been stuck for decades, suddenly saw breakthrough after breakthrough. Clean, limitless energy became a realistic possibility. The same technologies that could power defensive systems could also transform human civilization. Commander Miller understood that this wasn't just about preparing for potential alien threats. This was about humanity's evolution. Each technological advancement was a step towards becoming a species capable of defending and expanding its potential. Dr. Yu Jin's team worked around the clock. They were no longer just scientists. They were architects of humanity's future. Every algorithm, every quantum calculation was a building block of a new human capability. ARIA continued to learn and adapt. It wasn't just processing information, it was developing something close to intuition. The line between artificial intelligence and a new form of consciousness began to blur. Global military and scientific leadership recognized that they were witnessing a pivotal moment in human history. This wasn't just technological advancement. This was a species-wide transformation. The alien observers who had initially considered humans a minor, insignificant species would soon realize their massive miscalculation. Humanity wasn't just adapting. They were revolutionizing the very concept of technological progress. As research facilities hummed with activity and quantum systems processed unimaginable amounts of data, one thing became clear. Humanity was preparing for something much larger than anyone had anticipated. The technological escalation had begun, and the galaxy would soon understand that humans were not just another civilization. They were a force to be reckoned with. The massive alien armada emerged from hyperspace, blocking out starlight with their imposing metallic structures. Thousands of ships stretched across the solar system's outer regions, their advanced weapon systems primed and ready. They expected total human submission, a quick conquest of the small blue planet. Admiral Minji Kang stood on the bridge of the human defense flagship, her eyes calm and calculating. Behind her, a fleet of vessels unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen waited in perfect formation. These were not traditional spacecraft but adaptive quantum platforms that could reconfigure themselves faster than enemy targeting systems could track. Area, the quantum intelligence system, processed invasion, scenarios at speeds beyond comprehension. Each alien ship movement was anticipated, analyzed, and countered before the alien commanders could even complete their strategic thoughts. What seemed like human preparation was actually a living, breathing defensive network. The alien confederation had gathered its most advanced warships. Representatives from 12 different star systems believed this would be a simple extermination mission. Humanity was viewed as a primitive species that had accidentally attracted galactic attention. They expected a swift victory. Commander David Miller watched the incoming fleet through advanced holographic displays. His team had been preparing for this moment, studying every possible alien technological signature. The quantum defense systems were not just defensive. They were designed to turn the attackers' own technologies against them. The first wave of alien energy weapons approached Earth's defensive perimeter. Instead of traditional shield systems, human platforms absorbed the energy, analyzed its frequency, and immediately generated counter-frequencies. Each alien attack was effectively neutralized before it could cause any damage. Alien communication channels buzzed with confusion. Their most advanced weapon systems were being rendered ineffective by a species they had considered technologically inferior. Human response times were impossibly fast, adaptive strategies beyond their computational models. Area began its most complex operation. The AI didn't just defend, it launched coordinated counterattacks that targeted the fundamental communication and navigation systems of the alien fleet. Entire squadrons found themselves unable to coordinate, their advanced technologies suddenly turning against them. Admiral Kang's fleet moved with a precision that defied traditional military strategy. Ships transformed mid-battle, reconfiguring their structures to exploit tiny vulnerabilities in alien defensive systems. What appeared as chaos was actually a perfectly synchronized quantum ballet of technological warfare. The alien confederation's leaders watched in growing horror. Their invasion force, considered unbeatable across multiple star systems, was being systematically dismantled by a species they had underestimated. Human technology was not just matching their capabilities, it was surpassing them. Quantum communication networks allowed human commanders to share tactical information instantaneously. A vulnerability discovered by a ship in one part of the solar system was immediately integrated into the entire defensive strategy. The human fleet moved as a single intelligent organism. Advanced human satellites began broadcasting mathematical sequences that disrupted alien ship navigation systems. Entire squadrons found themselves unable to maintain their attack formations, drifting helplessly while human platforms systematically neutralized their capabilities. The battle was not about destruction, but about demonstration. Humanity was sending a clear message to the galactic community. They were not a species to be conquered, but a civilization to be respected. As hours passed, the alien invasion force found itself completely outmaneuvered. Their most advanced technologies were being used against them, their communication networks compromised, their strategic advantages nullified by human innovation. The final blow came not from weapons, but from information. ARIA began broadcasting the entire invasion plan back to the alien Confederation's home systems, exposing their strategic failures and technological limitations. It was a psychological warfare technique that went beyond traditional combat. When the remaining alien ships retreated, they carried with them a fundamental understanding that would reshape galactic perceptions. Humanity was not just another developing species. They were a technological force that could not be underestimated. Admiral Kang allowed herself a small smile. The message had been delivered. Humanity was here, and they were ready. The galactic conference chamber fell silent when President Elena Rodriguez entered. Representatives from 12 different star systems watched her approach, their previous attitudes of superiority replaced by a newfound respect and caution. Chief Diplomat Wu Sung stood beside her, carrying data crystals that contained humanity's proposal for galactic integration. These were not demands, but a carefully crafted vision of mutual cooperation that would reshape interstellar relationships. Humanity had not sought conquest. They had demonstrated their capabilities and now sought understanding. The quantum communication systems developed by Dr. Yu Jin's team allowed for unprecedented translation and communication, breaking down barriers that had existed between civilizations for millennia. The alien Confederation's leadership realized they faced a civilization unlike any they had encountered before. Humans were not interested in territorial expansion or resource domination. They wanted knowledge, cultural exchange, and collaborative progress. ARIA, the quantum intelligence system, processed diplomatic scenarios in real time. Every potential communication was analyzed for diplomatic nuance, ensuring that human representatives could navigate complex interstellar negotiations with unprecedented precision. President Rodriguez presented a revolutionary concept, a galactic research and development network where technological advancements would be shared openly. This was not about human superiority, but about collective advancement of all participating civilizations. The battle that had preceded this moment was not forgotten. The alien representatives remembered how completely their invasion force had been neutralized. Humanity's defensive capabilities were now legendary across multiple star systems. Wu Sung explained the human perspective. They saw the galaxy not as a territory to be conquered, but as a complex ecosystem of civilizations waiting to understand each other. Their recent technological developments were offered as a gesture of goodwill, not a threat. Quantum communication platforms allowed instantaneous translation, removing language barriers that had historically prevented meaningful interstellar communication. Each representative could hear and understand each other perfectly, with nuanced cultural contexts preserved. The proposal included open scientific research collaborations, technology exchange programs, and a framework for peaceful conflict resolution. Humanity demonstrated that they were not just technologically advanced but diplomatically sophisticated. Representatives from older, more established civilizations began to see humans differently. They were no longer a species to be controlled or eliminated, but potential partners in galactic exploration and understanding. ARIA processed diplomatic negotiations, providing real-time insights and potential communication strategies. The AI had become more than a defensive tool. It was now a diplomatic assistant capable of understanding complex interstellar dynamics. President Rodriguez's approach was revolutionary. She didn't demand respect. She demonstrated why humanity deserved it. Each diplomatic statement was backed by technological capabilities that had been clearly displayed during the recent confrontation. The conference lasted 3 standard galactic days. Negotiations were complex, with multiple civilizations reassessing their understanding of humanity. What had begun as a potential conflict transformed into a groundbreaking diplomatic opportunity. Wu Sung's diplomatic skills became legendary. He navigated complex cultural nuances with a combination of human adaptability and strategic thinking. Each discussion moved humanity closer to its goal of peaceful galactic integration. The final resolution was unprecedented. Humanity would be invited to join the Galactic Confederation not as a subordinate member, but as an equal partner. Their recent technological demonstrations had earned them immediate respect. Scientific exchange programs were established. Human researchers would collaborate with alien civilizations, sharing quantum communication technologies and advanced defensive systems. The galaxy would benefit from human innovation. As the conference concluded, the alien representatives understood a fundamental truth. Humans were not just another species. They were a dynamic, innovative civilization capable of transforming challenges into opportunities. President Rodriguez's final statement echoed through the conference chamber. We seek not to conquer, but to understand, not to dominate, but to collaborate.